What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your best bud review, but today we're taking a proper deep dive into Sitka Legends Funk Petal, a high THC UK medical flower that's getting attention for its citrus funk aroma and daytime friendly profile. But instead of just smelling it and saying, yeah, that's nice, we're going to break this down properly. Full terpene profile, what those terpenes actually do, and most importantly, how changing your vape temperature completely changes the experience. If you're a UK patient trying to dial in symptom control properly, this one's going to be for you. So let's break down the terpenes. Based on available product information, the dominant terpenes in Funk Petal are myrcene, limonene, ocimene, and terpinolene. So this combination tells us a lot about the strain before we even vape it. When you first open the packet, you're going to get hit with bright citrus from the limonene, sweet herbal notes from the ocimene, a slight floral freshness from the terpinolene, and an earthy base layer from the myrcene. It's not heavy diesel, it's not creamy dessert, it's sharp, slightly funky, citrus herbal. Now let's talk about what that means effects wise. So limonene, typically associated with mood lift, stress reduction, and mental brightness. Myrcene is often linked to body relaxation, muscle relief, and a calmer sensation. Terpinolene and ocimene are common in sativa-leaning profiles, and they bring that uplifting, slightly energizing, creative, clear effect. So on paper, this looks like an uplifting head high, light body relaxation, and functional daytime potential. But here's where it gets interesting. What actually happens when you vape it at the different temperatures? So when we're starting off at the lowest range, around 165, this is going to give you flavor and clarity. At this range, myrcene begins activating, lighter terpenes stay intact, and the vapor is light and smooth. What I noticed is a very bright citrus on an inhale and almost sweet herbal exhale, clear head and very light psychoactivity. This is microdose territory, perfect if you're anxiety sensitive or new to THC or using during a workday. It feels very functional and there's no heaviness. Between 175 and 180, now we're activating full limonene, ocimene, and a more complete THC release. The vapor is going to thicken slightly, and the effects are going to shift to a noticeable mood lift, more cerebral engagement, mild body warmth, and still clear enough to focus. For me, this is where Funk Petal shines. It feels upbeat, social, and mentally flexible. This is daytime symptom control without the sedation. At 185 to 195, it's a balanced mind and body high. Now terpinolene fully expresses. You get thicker vapor, less citrus sharpness, and more herbal depth. The effects are going to be a stronger body relaxation, slight reduction in sharp focus, and a more immersive head high. This becomes early evening friendly. Still not couch lock, but definitely heavier. At 195 plus is going to be the full extraction mode. Now we're extracting maximum THC, burning off delicate terpenes, and getting deeper plant compounds. Flavor turns earthy and roasted. The effects are going to be noticeably heavier body, slight sedation, and less sparkle in the head. Good for pain control, but it's going to be less ideal for productivity. So let's look at why temperature changes everything. So different terpenes vaporize at different temperatures because of their molecular weight. At lower temperatures, you're going to be preserve uplifting monoterpenes, and it's going to deliver lighter effects. At higher temperatures, you're going to release more cannabinoids and create heavier body sensation. So if you ever think this strain feels too heavy, it might not be the strain, it might just be the temperature that you're vaping it at. Try a lower temperature and see if it still feels as heavy. Okay, so what's the final verdict before we move on to the scoring? For UK medical patients, this feels like a strong daytime candidate. It's going to be good for mood and stress. and it's going to give you light physical relief, and it's going to be best experience between 170 to 185, based on personal experience, but obviously you're going to have to experiment yourselves. It's not a knockout strain, and it's not a heavy pain crusher. It's going to be a functional, uplifting, and terpene forward when used. It's going to be functional, uplifting, and terpene forward when used correctly. So who's this going to be for? Patients managing low mood, stress or burnout, and daytime symptom control, or those who prefer citrus herbal profiles. It's not going to be ideal if you need heavy sedation or strong nighttime pain relief. So let's move on to the scores. For aroma and taste, I've given this a 7. It really does smell and taste like a funky haze. That's the best way I can describe it. For effects, I've given this a 7 again. I was expecting a bit more for the price I paid. So again, this will go hand in hand with the next scoring in the value, and where I've given it a 6. So at £75 or £7.50 a gram, I would expect something a bit more special, to be honest. That, or you reduce the price, because £7.50 a gram for this, I don't know, it's stretching it a bit far, I think. Overall, I've given this a 6.5. Again, the value bringing the score down. If Sitka bought this out for £6 a gram, that'd be more reasonable, I think. So if Sitka, if you're listening to this, some food for thought. So if you found this breakdown helpful, drop a like. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Let me know in the comments what temperature do you run Funk Petal at, or if you haven't tried it yet. And if you want more proper terpene focused UK medical reviews, just hit the subscribe button. This is your best bud, Review Bud. Stay medicated, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.